So before we get to the conversation with the fellows over at Bag Talk, which, by the way, this is one of the most important conversations I think every single one of you should be listening in on, and try to get through the whole hour and a half, because there are a ton of gems in here for you guys to actually help with your finances and goal setting for 2023 and so on in the future. But I just want to take the time also to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas for those who celebrate, and Happy New Year also. Going into 2023, there's going to be a lot more content coming out. I know I've said that before plenty of times, but trust me, have been a lot of big things coming into play coming soon. I can't give away everything just yet, but there's a lot coming soon, and you can see a lot of different things popping up soon. But other than that, just wanted to say again, thank you very much for tuning in this year. This has been a great year of growth and opportunity, and happy holidays. Enjoy the conversation.
Where do you want us to look there?
Yeah, so the first camera is right there, and then the second camera is going to be right there.
So we look at both.
Either way. Well, for now, it's just that one there, and then when I go to this one here, I'll let you guys know and all that stuff.
Okay, got you.
But yeah. So I mean, fuck it. So I have the honor and the privilege of talking to two gentlemen that I want to say enlightened me, but also really pushed me over the last 3 months or so. 3 months or so? Yeah, about 3 months.
Yeah.
And the amount of changes that came within the 3 months, not only just financially, but just overall, like discipline levels on actual holding yourself accountable. There's very few individuals that I can relate to, but also are also my age group at the same time, but I also look up to at the same time. So without I'm giving them the flowers a little bit more, but I'll let them introduce themselves.
Yeah, bro. Thank you, man. Like, Tim's been great. Like, we had him in our group. We have a Discord where we, help people develop financially, mentally, and everything. And he was like one of the star people in the group. Tim's awesome. But my name is Bag Tyrell. I'm a co-founder of the Bag Talk Show.
Yeah. So my name is Both Hnu. My full name is Hnu, and I just want to say, bro, it's an honor to be here. To be able to get an opportunity to speak on whatever we're about to talk on, just have an organic conversation. I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, basically, talk about the Bamboo Group in general. It was what inspired you guys to even start that up? Because it was a random phone call I got one night. I was just sitting on the outside, just hanging on my phone, and I got a call, and then they asked me to want to be a part of this group, and I've always respected them on their ideologies and everything else that you guys have behind you guys. And it was just getting that call, and it was like looking up, I'm like, all right, what's going on here? And I'm like, all right, well, let me see what this is about. And then just every single week was just another new gem you guys were dropping on us. But also there was also other opportunities to get connected with other individuals. So what made you guys want to start the whole Bamboo Group, but also that Discord in general?
So I'll let him speak on like Bamboo Group, because like he was the one who kind of led that one, and then I'll dive into like why we started the group.
Yeah, so just the Bamboo Group in general. So first of all, for people that are like, why'd you call it the Bamboo Group? I called it Bamboo Group because if you look into like the way that bamboos grow, is they take a long time to just develop underground. Like, nobody knows what's going on. It takes a long time, but then when they shoot up, like when they get out of the ground, they spurt so fast, like extremely fast. And so I kind of looked at that as like the group we're in, we're kind of underground. Nobody knows that we're working on our different, projects in our respective fields. And so it's like, I bet watching when we pop out the ground, watching everybody see it, they're going to think like, oh, we was overnight successes. But like, nah, we've been working on the low and nobody knew. So that was the whole motivation behind the group. And, our group, I know Nusi's going to get into detail on it, but it's a group we're supposed to teach each other financial literacy, right? Where we're leading a group of people to help them develop in a financial way, but you can't develop financially if your mindset is not there, and if you're not being held accountable by people that's like-minded. So I know that's what helped me and Nuski develop financially, is we sharpen each other, not just, oh, have you heard of this type of stock, or have you heard of this type of economic? Like, no, bro. We sharpen each other simply on habits as well. Like, yo, bro, did you get up and do that workout like you say you're gonna do? Because it all coincides. It's all related. And so that was like, if we're gonna have our Discord and our community we got to make sure that everybody in our community is holding each other accountable on that same level, because that's literally a necessary element to growth.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it was meant to be an accountability group, and I think it became like a family of some sort, because a lot of feedback was given on the actual bamboo group itself, right? So that was one part of it. But the reason why we decided to start the actual Discord, it's called Back Talk Camp. It's really because we wanted to create a community where we could help people grow, right? I think Rel and I are at a position in our life where it was essentially a point in we're good and we're trying to get better and better now, right? But like it sounds crazy to say this, but like it's lonely sometimes when you are doing things and you know your friends could be doing the same thing, but they're not. So it's like, yo, I didn't want anyone to get left behind. I know he didn't want anyone to get left behind. So we're like, all right, we're already giving free game on YouTube. Like everything is on free, right? So it's like, all right, what else can we do? So we decided to create a community, and now we got some fire feedback from that community. Like it wasn't just the bamboo group, right? Like we had literally like every single Wednesday we would teach classes on whatever topic, like from stock market to crypto market to real estate to credit. We had speakers come and talk. Like shout out to Brandon Mitt, shout out to Joe. Like life insurance came in. We have entrepreneurs who are scaling and their companies are worth more than like $2-3 million. They're coming in and speaking, right? So it was just a dope community in general where we want to give all our resources to people just to see what they could do.
So it's very people oriented.
That was the whole point. We just wanted to create a community where it was like, y'all are gonna come in this boot camp type of scenario, and for 3 months, if you give us your time, we promise you your lives will change for the better.
And the huge focus was to over deliver. You know, we really want to over deliver because we had people come in knowing like what they're gonna expect, and we're like, all right, let's go over the top, right? You know what I mean? Especially with the guests that we bringing in and everything like that, like. And you know, we're gonna have a community going forward too. Like that wasn't the last, you know, cohort. No, it's launching again
in February, first week.
Yeah, first week of February. So anybody interested, definitely contact us. You know, on Instagram we're the Bag Talk Show, and on everything we're the Bag Talk Show. So make sure you contact us because it's gonna be even bigger and better. Like
we're only getting better. Like we have a lot more stuff coming out, and honestly, you've been a part of it, so you could vouch for it yourself.
I mean, just the thing that it's gonna get better alone is definitely something that I have a hard time imagining, just because you guys have already like set a standard, and it's like yeah, like every single week there was a new gem and there was something new that I definitely either was able to use that week or was definitely used later on throughout the rest of this year.
Mm-hmm.
The whole like using this as like the preseason and 2023. That mentality alone, just like that mental shift was everything I needed and more, just so it really put in perspective that halfway through 2023, I'm already ready on 2024.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
It's not even that, like even just thinking like I already got even taste of 2025 already in my brain.
I swear. I know what you mean.
So go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, because you know he ran the book club, and like you know, one of the books we read in there had everybody like learning like to how to develop better habits. And so it kind of makes sense where we talked about 2023 preseason. You can't start 2023 just now developing habits that you want. You need to already be in those habits. Like you already need to have those implemented into your life. By the time January 1st hits, you got to hit the ground running. You don't got time to be like, all right, let me just now start trying to start this gym habit or whatever you got going on. By the time you figure it out, it's already January 19th. And then everybody already got you already behind, bro. We already been in those winning habits since October, November, right? We've been doing this. So that was the whole focus behind that.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, honestly, like a large part of that came from value entertainment. I'm a big believer in Patrick David. I think he's really dope. And he speaks on this a lot in terms of entrepreneurship and business. It's like I consider us students of the game. Like we really study the game a lot. So any gems I could pick up, I'm like, oh, right, I gotta give it to you. You know what I'm saying? And then shout out to Patrick David on this one. He talks about you gotta be 15 steps ahead at all times. Like 1 or 2 steps ahead is like a rookie move. Like that's cute. You know, you're figuring things out. If you're 3 to 4 or 5 steps ahead, okay, you got it. But a real person who's like about their ish and really, really gets that level, bro, they already know what they're doing. 1, 2, 3, like up to 15. They know their move. Right? You ever play chess?
Yeah.
The best chess players, you think they're just calculating what you're gonna do and then what they're gonna do and what you're gonna do? Hell nah, bro. They already know the game. They already know the
Fact.
outcome. You know, like Kobe, when he's playing, like he's anticipating the way the defense is gonna play before he, does his thing. It's already there.
It's already there. And you see it too from even like the biggest companies in the world. We're financial literacy. So like they're planning for launches that they're having years out. We talking even 10 years out sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, like even in the biggest investors too, they're not thinking about what is this company gonna produce for me over the next 3 months.
I hate that. I hate when people say short term.
Just 3 months.
Bro, think about Microsoft. I love Microsoft, but like you think there's a reason why they got into health? No, but
Exactly.
you really think it's out of nowhere they decided to partner with CVS? Like you think out of nowhere when AI was coming out, they were one of the first people to jump on board? Come on, man. Like this has been, and these are the best CEOs, the best investors. They have the best people coming together. Apple, when they had the FaceTime, right, and the Face ID, Samsung was on that way before. Apple just was doing research before they launched it. So they gotta put time in.
And that's why we gotta operate like them. And that's the whole point. Is like we gotta move ahead. You know what I'm saying? That if they're the best at what they do, and you see that anybody who's the best at what they do, they're thinking 15 steps ahead. We gotta set that standard for a fact.
No, even if it's like even if people are making money in the most ridiculous or just corniest of way, just listening on how they are making money, regardless if it's like just from TikToks, regardless if it's just from stocks, just listening on them. Cole said it best. If you broke and clowning on a millionaire, the joke is on you. It's that bar alone is like, I don't give a fuck if like how they got they got to the millions, and you're still struggling to try and break 100K.
That's why I don't make fun of people. A lot of people don't like Dave Ramsey, bro. A lot of people don't like him, right? But one thing is, you can't take away, like, he's a millionaire, multi-millionaire. He owns so many properties. He's like, you can make fun of him, but a lot of people listen to him, and it's like, okay, he got it. It's the same thing with Elon. People make fun of him. He still got it, though.
Wild boy.
He's a wild
boy.
He's definitely a wild boy.
Wild boy.
But at the same time, it's like, I'm not gonna make fun of his intellect. That man different, So I think that's why it all goes together.
No matter who they are, if they're doing better than me, or if they're making money than me, more money than me, the end master investor said it best. I shut up. I shut up.
Yeah.
If you are doing better than me in any way that I want to improve, I'm listening. I'm all games. Like, I'm literally taking notes. It's mental notes, physical notes, typing in my phone real quick, getting connected with the right people. It's all just listening, part of that listening game.
And that's why I think it's pretty big to be in the room. Everyone says to be in the room, right? But like, a lot of people don't do it. So if y'all listen to this right now, just get in the room. Mel and I have spent a lot of money this year to be in rooms that we would never be in. You know what I'm saying? Like traveling, whether it's driving or flying somewhere, right? Like all of that is just spending money, being in the room. Because when you're in the room with a bunch of people, bro, chances are you're not the smartest person in that room, and you could take a lot away from that.
Yeah, so actually that's one of the things I want to talk on. Y'all took a trip, I believe it was to Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
What was the convention that y'all went to? It was InvestFest.
Yeah. It was InvestFest.
So can you talk a little bit about InvestFest, and for those who just don't even know what InvestFest is, just because like I saw y'all went and I was like, damn, I'm envious. It's like I couldn't get the time off, but couldn't get over there. But it's like the next InvestFest is like, I don't care what's going on. I'll move my clients if I have to around. I'm sure they'll understand for that part. I got to get down there to hear that kind of game that's being sped down over there.
Yeah. You want the most honest answer, or you want like
I want to hear it all.
I guess some people are going.
I want to hear it all. I want to hear it as honest as you can right now.
I can tell them what InvestFest is.
Yeah, you can tell them InvestFest.
Yeah, I mean, InvestFest is so EYL Earning Leisure. They have an event called InvestFest where they had. I mean, this year they had like almost 13,000 people that attended, and it's just a bunch of people that are hungry for financial literacy knowledge, right? And this is entrepreneurs, all types of people in different fields all come together and just network with each other. And they have speakers on stage that they had even artists that perform like songs on stage too. It was a good mix of entertainment and education. And so it's just a space for like-minded individuals to come and network with each other. And I mean, you can speak on your experience with it, and I'll say mine after.
Yeah, I think it was a dope experience in the sense that you're bringing a lot of people together in one spot, right? I don't think it's ever really, I don't want to say ever, because I have been to events like that, like BYOB, like Build Your Own Brand. They do a lot of stuff like that as well, right? So I think that it's a dope setting to have a lot of business owners come together, entrepreneurs, people who don't know anything, people who know a lot, and this network, right? So I think that part was excellent. I think the ability to network is great. However, I think there's a lot of ways that your money can be spent if you are already in business, right? And you're trying to network, but like you have to do your research beforehand, if that makes sense. So if I'm going to InvestFest next year, I already know how it's like now, and I'm going to do my research prior to be like, this is who I want to talk to, because you already know who's there, right? You already know who's there, so you want to connect with those people before you go, and you have to be able to put yourself in a position where, for example, I know you're going, I'm going to go and hit you up on Instagram and LinkedIn, and be, yo, I heard you're going here. Why don't we connect and get some coffee?
Yep.
Right. So do your research beforehand. But I will be 100% honest. I think EYL does a great job of what they do. I think they're amazing to build that brand. I just think that it's too expensive to be able to say that, what is it, $5,000 at a certain point you're paying? I think that's way too much. And I'm just being 100% transparent. Like, well, full transparency, I think it's a great event. I don't think it's worth the bread.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so it's like, you know, like you said, it could be costly on the costly side, depending on what package you get. Like we were a VIP. So for me, I would say for anybody listening, just make sure, like you said, you have a game plan so you can make the most out of your money. Because if you just go there just to go there thinking that they're gonna give you what you're looking for, like, nah, you're gonna have to go out and get it yourself. So what they do is they provide a room, and that's their job, and that's good job on them. Now for you, the person that's attending, make sure that you take advantage. Otherwise, you're gonna feel like you wasted your money. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that when you in that room, you shaking those hands and talking to those people and planning beforehand, connecting with them to make sure that you can cultivate those relationships. And then you're going to feel like, yeah, this is definitely my money's worth. Like when we went there, we were like, yeah, we got our money's worth. We paid a pretty penny to be in the rooms, but we made some great connections that we're still working on right now. That's like providing. Yeah, it leads to partnerships and everything. So, you know, we took advantage of the room that they provided. Like I said, if you don't take advantage of that room, you're gonna feel you waste your money. Yep. So there's a level of accountability that you gotta have as a person attending to really feel like, yeah, I'm getting my money's worth.
If you're shy, don't go. I'm being so serious. Right. Like you're just gonna really feel like I learned, but you're gonna feel a certain type of way because you're gonna be like, damn, I could have learned this by myself on YouTube.
That's a fact.
So that's it's the most transparent and honest answer.
So it's not necessarily more about the information, but it's more about establishing the connections with the people that are there.
I think you get the same information online. I wholeheartedly do think
y'all give out a lot of information now. I'm pretty sure that was shared already on there.
Like, I don't mean that in a bad way. I think they do a great job of providing a platform for people to network. But the education information, yeah, you could get that from their Market Mondays, right, for free. So you got to go there with the idea to network and really, like, we didn't sleep, bro. Like, I crashed at like 2:30 a.m. I think you could tell in our blogs that we did. Our eyes were like, bro, I had coffee like the whole day. Like, I'm telling you, Well and I were like, we had dark circles. We were, I think our legs started hurting at a point or something because we were literally sitting right next to it, like, yo, like, this is getting tiring. Because we went there with a purpose.
We was out there, yo,
get as much information.
We were, Marvin, shout out to you for listening. That was an interview that we got. Chris, and that is another person. Like, I'm not trying to get crazy, but we got a lot of stuff coming, bro. Chris is saying, like, we got a lot of stuff coming.
Real life. Who knew networking could be so exhausting too? I felt like I played a basketball game.
Exhausting. So that's what I'm saying. Like, go there with a purpose, and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Now, traveling to get there, I remember there was a vlog where it was a video that you guys dropped about how basically you guys were able to travel for free at one point.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you guys travel for free, literally. Everything all covered, all expenses, everything all taken care of. So, with that being said, I'm going to let them talk about a little bit about that as well. Like, how did that happen?
Go crazy, though.
All right, so you see these babies right here? Bro, you got to get these cards, man. That's how you can travel free. Credit cards are one of the best ways to go crazy when it comes to traveling for free, because a lot of people don't know that if you pay a fee for a credit card, what ends up happening is you take money out of your pocket, right? So for example, Amex Platinum, you have to pay, like, I think the fee is $700 or $695 right now, right? You pay that a year, right? And it's like, damn, I'm paying for a fee. I got other credit cards I'm paying a fee, but I have other credit cards I can get for free, right? Bro, one, you get 5x points on everything in terms of travel. So, for example, if I am buying $1,000 worth of a flight, I'm getting 5,000 points. Now, those 5,000 points can be redeemed to buy another flight. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're going to spend the bread regardless. Might as well get amazing points. So that's just one thing. On top of that, they have welcome offers. The welcome offers, you gotta be nice with it. It depends on, if you're, sometimes you could get a referral, sometimes you get like a regular welcome bonus. I was able to get 150,000 bonus points from the MX Platinum as a welcome offer, right? I use that to book all my flights. So I'm not paying for anything. 150,000 points is equal to $1,500. So I'm not paying for anything, but it's not only worth $1,500. It could be worth 3,000 if you actually know the game and you're able to transfer points the right way to the right airlines. Not only that, they give you $200 for Uber. Every single month, I eat for free. If I want Uber, boom, I eat Uber Eats, or I get Uber rides. And then on top of that, they give you $50 every 6 months for Saks Fifth Avenue. So you want to buy someone something nice, $50 here, boom, you're good, right? In terms of, there's other hotel points, 5X, free upgrades. If you go out somewhere, bro, it looks amazing to give someone your card. They're like, oh, Miss Stapper, you're here. I'm like, yeah. Oh, here's a free upgrade. Imagine you got Shorty with you. She gets a free upgrade now. Now you look king. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the airline lounges too.
Bro, lounges are a whole different game. Like, I took my boy with me, and I was like, yo, you hungry? He's like, yeah, I'm about to go and like spend money on Chick-fil-A at the airport. I'm like, that's about to cost you like $30-$40. And I was like, nah, bro, come with me. Free lounges with free massage chairs, with free wine, free alcohol, free food. And guess what, bro? We could sit right here. They serve you. And that's what I'm saying. You travel for free. That's just one card. You combine that with the MX Platinum, with the gold, bro, now you got $30 of Ubers. You combine that with a Chase Sapphire, now you have 5X points combined with another 5X points. I could go on for days, but I don't pay for anything when I travel.
Exactly. And we also use assets to get things like, so for example, like I partner with him on a car for his car rental business. I like how stupid, exactly. I use the profits from that car to pay for the VIP ticket. Like we said, the EYL event was a little expensive, but we pretty much, the whole trip was paid for. I used my points for my credit card to pay for the flight.
All right, guys, sorry to interrupt. I know some juicy content is being dropped right now, but at the same time, I want to give you guys a little more information about how you're going to get some quality sleep with Cannabolics. This is the deeply rested tincture. It is a combination of CBD and CBN. CBN is a cannabinoid that gives your body an ability to turn off parts of your brain that prevent you from accessing REM sleep. So it gives your body an ability to go into deeper sleep, means better recovery, and it also means that you will not need as much caffeine, being that you'll wake up with that quality rested feeling. So go to cannabolics.org. Don't forget to use code Welshcare, WELSHCARE, for additional 10% off your order. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Get you guys these droplets, and you will thank me later, and you will also thank Cannabolics. And yeah, let's get back to the episode.
And then I use the car rental profits to pay for the actual VIP ticket. I like low-key went down to Atlanta for free on that whole trip. And just to reiterate on the credit card point, like, yo, you're going to spend the money regardless. Like, this is what really stuck out to me, because for a while I was living wrong on the credit card side, and then Newski had to like really like drill it into my head, like, yo, bro, you're gonna spend the money regardless. And then so it's either you take your cash or your debit card, where you're not gonna get any rewards for it to pay for this item, or you're gonna use your credit card where you're gonna at least get rewarded for spending the money. So now it's like, all right, we treat our credit cards the same way we treat our debit cards. You're buying things you actually could afford, buying things you actually have the money for. And so then you say, I pay for, let's say right now I pay for this this ticket. I will pay it off immediately. You could go right on your app, pay for it on your app, pay for it immediately. So now that's paid off, right? I'm treating my credit card like I treat my debit card. All right. But then there's something called a credit utilization rate that you have to worry about. So where you don't want to leave more than 10% of your credit card limit as a balance by your statement closing date. And so what I do is I purposely leave between 1 and 10% of my credit card limit as an outstanding balance by the time the date comes, by the time the statement closing date comes. That way the credit card bureaus can see, hey, this guy is using his card, but he's not using it too much. He only used like 10% of his card. And so they're going to be like, okay, he's dependable. And then that boosts your score. So yeah, I was using my card all month, right? I used it all month, but I was paying it off immediately, except that last 10%. I left it there for them to see that. And that's how you really boost your score up in a fast amount of time.
Even gas, right? So I'll ask you a couple of questions. People say, yo, I want to use cash for gas because it's cheaper. let's just do the math. Is it really cheaper? Because if you end up having a card that gives you back 1.5 points, which one's cheaper? Which one's a better option? Right? Because if you're spending $30 on gas and you can get cash back of 2%, there's a Chase card that gives you 5% back. Now you tell me 5% back up to, I think it's $5,000 for the quarter. Which one's cheaper? Which one's a better option? So think about what your expenses are. Do you like just break it down? What are your highest expenses for the month?
Usually the grocery and then the rent.
Okay, so what if I told you there's a card that you get 4x points on groceries? Would you do that?
Yeah.
Right. Now, what if I told you that same card gives you the ability to get 4x points on restaurants and 3x points on travel? And they give you $120 on Uber.
So, yeah, what's the name of the card?
Referral, baby, I got you. The house always wins. Nah, it's an MX goal, bro.
Bro, you got. Hold on, let me switch again. You see why I gotta have these guys back on again. I mean, the first time I had them on, it was like a first real interaction. You know, really getting to know each other. You know, based off just YouTube is where I really knew you guys.
Yeah.
Now it's just like actually getting like to knowing all this like just information. It's like y'all giving all this information for free, and it's just mind blowing that y'all aren't really listening. Like y'all listening, but you aren't really listening. Like you're listening with an intent to just like get background noise. No, actually take the time to really listen in on the videos and on their conversations, and you could walk away with gems like what they literally just dropped on y'all. Literally just dropped another gem for free. Literally, it's fucking. It's what. Just because I also am in like that mentorship world.
Yeah.
What people pay for mentors is ridiculous.
Bro, my mentor, it's funny. Pauline actually just gave me a 14-day free trial. I gotta put you on. She just texted me today on something. Yeah, it's a masterclass something. But basically, bro, she charges people for coffee. Like, she told me that straight up. She's like, I charge people for coffee because they're trying to. She hates the term "pick my brain" because they try to pick her brain, which is basically trying to take your IP away, intellectual property.
Yeah.
Right. So pay for mentors is great, but if y'all not gonna get the value from it, and by not like taking action, you're wasting your money.
Because I know that there's classes, like not to shit on the man himself, but like ET. I know they have all these like great classes, but do people actually really take them serious? Is the question? It's like they actually spend the $500 or $2,000, or even like Red Panda Group or in the Master Investor class, like them too. Like they pay the money they pay, but it's like, are they actually taking that money and putting into like, or are they actually really taking the game that they're putting on there and like putting into their actual like real life?
Yeah, it's right now it's tough. It's like it's a balance right now between wanting to make sure that we're providing a space for like the community to come out and learn something without cracking their pockets, but at the same time when you put your price point too low, you start to get certain types of people in your community which are not really serious. Like, so right now, even we think about this when we're talking about launching like more of our community or just other products coming out, where it's like if our price point is too low, the type of people that we have that we're teaching, they're not really that serious. But then you don't want to put it too high, because then it's like, all right, well, now you're like overpricing a community that's traditionally not like, they don't typically have those funds. So it's like, it's a balance you got to have. But I think there definitely is a middle ground that a lot of people out there are definitely money hungry and they're taking advantage of the community. So I don't agree with that. But you got to charge something, especially as a business. But people are like head cracking. I ain't gonna lie, like, what I'm saying? There's just, but there is a balance. I see both sides, but there definitely is a middle ground that a lot of people are missing.
I can blame the people who charge a lot, but at the same time, I'm like, people are paying you, so why would you change? Right? Like, there's always gonna be someone that wants to pay XYZ group $10,000. Of course there is. So why would they not? Because you could get 10 people to pay you $1,000, but you got to find 10 people. You can get one person to pay you $10,000. Same income, same profit, right? Probably actually a bigger profit, because at the end of the day, you're only spending time with one person.
Yeah.
And then like I agree with you, and that's why it comes down to like whatever their intent is. Because if you're, what I'm saying, like if your intent is to make money, man, keep head cracking. Like you said, there's people that's always who's down to pay. But if your intent is literally like you say it is, and it's to genuinely help the community, then you got to find that middle ground for real. if your intent really is what you say it is. I don't like when people claim they for the community and then they pricing this stuff to a point where your community can't even afford it. So how you really for the community? So you got to find that middle ground somehow.
Yeah. And we're just starting our journey, right? So we obviously have not seen the limelights of being at the point that certain channels are, right? Like we're not at the point that EYL is. So it's like kind of tough. We're not at the point that Red Panda or even like other groups like Minority Mindset are. So it's kind of different. But what I will say is something that we pride ourselves on is to not individually charge people that much money, like individual people themselves, right? That's not what we focus on because yeah, we want people who are actually serious, but at the same time, we understand that it's a balance. Our whole goal and mission is to go after companies and institutions that really have the funding and the bread to be able to actually pay us so we can make a difference. You see, like I think there's a way to go about it, and that's how we want to do it.
Yeah, like our biggest focus right now is pushing into these schools, colleges. That's our biggest focus. And like even anybody listening, like if you want to book us for your high school, your college, whatever it may be, even just a institute, like whatever group you have that you want us to speak to, definitely contact us for that because that's our biggest focus right now. We want to be hand in hand and look people in the eye because like social media is cool and all, but it's not only is it oversaturated, but we like to look people in the face and watch the change in real life because that's where the fulfillment really comes from. But like you said, that the people with funding, like institutions, like schools and stuff, that's really who we charging. The people, the hand-in-hand people that we looking in the eye every day, I would never want to head crack those people because those is once us.
Yeah.
And that's what really separates y'all from a lot of the other people that are currently trying to establish their own little financial group as well, or just even financial literacy group, where I know that they're charging $400 to $500 to $600 just to even talk with them for like an hour or 2 hours or so. It's like you can't establish a connection with somebody like that. Like it's like, yeah, you want to see if they're serious, but it's like they still gotta get gas, they still gotta eat, they still gotta provide for families. When you have an opportunity to talk with individuals like yourself, my only hope is that people really are really listening with an intent of actually understanding, not with an intent to just reply and just like brush off all the information, because all the information that you're putting out right now is like, even if you're listening to somebody like in your 30s and your 40s, it's still so much better off versus just like continuing on with like just sticking to a 401k. Like the info y'all have dropped, like I've also been just giving to my fam as well. Like I've been sending them the videos also. It's just like, you guys, like, listen, I don't want to be the only one in the family that's going to be, really trying to make it right here.
It's
but
gonna
at
be
the
tough,
same time,
yeah,
I'll do the work I'll do the work if I have to do the work. I'll put the hustle in there. I'll put the extra effort. I'll work the hours I need to work. I'll lose the sleep if I need to lose sleep for now, knowing what it's going to bring for the future, though.
Right.
At the same time, though, if they actually wanted to listen in and it'd help out, the time to be shortened up, but. At the same time, though, that it's half the reason why when I have my own facility up here in Brentwood, where it caters to not only just the physical health but the mental health, it's the reason why the high school kids are going to go in for free, like and all the other people in Brentwood are going to be slightly discounted, but then anyone who wants to come in from outside of Brentwood, they have to pay a certain rate. Like there's a certain like pay structure to that as well. I'm going to have it broken down to, but also it's like at the end of the year, whatever like big profit we have, like a portion of that goes to scholarships.
Right.
It's all broken down like a 10-page business plan that I have broken down to like the right people that I want to break it down to. Because knowing that where I'm at financially, it's like obviously I'm not gonna be able to do everything on my own. So obviously in the future, like there's gonna be that room for investors.
Right.
So if I hit them with the right plan, if I break down everything properly, literally from like even the HVAC cost, the tile cost, the pay your employees, all the other, like literally everything, the full detail. When I hear people like, oh, I'm gonna start up this business and just do this and this and that, and I'm like, oh, well, we talked about this. Literally, it's like about it. Literally, it's like we just talked about that when you
reverse engineering.
The reverse engineering part was like that class alone was just like, I had a 7-page business plan, but now it's a 10-page. And I'm sure when I go back over it again, it's gonna go back over to a 15-page. Just because it's like there's always more to it that I can add because of that ideal, like of just looking back and really taking a step. Okay, how do I get to this? Okay, before I do that, but how do I get to that? Before that, how do I get to that? It's a mindset I had never had before up until literally the bamboo group, and then until that meeting. Like it's just like, damn, that's like one of the best ways to be thinking about this.
Yeah, and I could briefly say it for like listeners too, just in case they wondering what we're talking about. Like reverse engineering is like you start with your ultimate goal. I'm talking about the goal you dream yourself having. Like, I mean, like the place you see yourself being in your dreams, right? You start there and you say, how do I get there? Like so an example is, yo, I want to own 10 properties in real estate, or I want to own an apartment building. Okay, how do you get to an apartment building? You might have to trade in some houses. Okay, how do you get those houses? You might have to, how are you going to get 3 houses in a year? Oh, maybe using the BRRRR method in real estate. How do you get the BRRRR method? Okay, well, I need an undervalued property. How do you get that? Oh, I need to meet this realtor. How do you find this realtor? Go on this website. How do you get on that website? I need a computer. I need a Wi-Fi connection. You literally take it down to the, what can I do right now? I need to call Verizon. Like it comes down, I need to call Verizon. Like, so you're thinking like, how do I get an apartment complex? The first thing I need to do is call Verizon. As crazy as it is, it's like, and you look at a mountain and you're like, how the heck do I get to the top of that mountain? I mean, you didn't even move your left foot yet. Like, focus on that left foot right now, because that's the first step literally to getting to the top of the mountain. And so if once you do that and you have an actionable plan, you now look at your goals as attainable. Because everybody named mama say, yo, I want to do this. I want to own an apartment complex. I want to be financially free. Everybody named mama say that, bro. They just talking. It's all talk until you have an actionable plan behind how you're going to do it. It's all talk. And it works internally too. Because when you look at that plan, you're like, yo, this is actually possible. Wow. Let me just start attacking this one by one. And then you're going to be there in no time.
See, and it's more All right, guys, real quick. So we're going to talk a little bit more about your next protein purchase, and that's going to be the Jocko Milk. So the Jocko Milk, the reason why I push it so much is because it is 4 supplements in one. You have your probiotics, your digestive enzymes, your essential amino acids, and your protein powder, literally all in one. Comes in 5 different flavors. Sorry, 6 different flavors. And technically 7 different flavors because of the unflavored version. So you're going to go to originmain.com/Jocko Fuel, or just type in Jocko Fuel, JOCKO FUEL. And don't forget to use code Welsh10, not Welshcare, Welsh10, WELSH 10 at checkout for an additional 10% off your order at the end of the day, and get yourself that high quality protein. Let's get back to the episode. More gems like that. I don't understand how y'all aren't at 10 million followers just yet. Just because it's I'm sure even just like the people who are just watching this video, they're like that switch alone. Hopefully this is like that. Damn, I never thought about that. It's like the same reaction I had when that gem was dropped. It was just like, damn. Maybe it's like, hold on, let me take 10 steps back and like really take a look at this in like the biggest picture possible. It's like taking a panorama view of just like of like everything of like from the from the very, very start to the end, and seeing I thought I had a detailed plan. It's like, damn, no, there's actually still so much more detail. So when people say that they have a plan, I really wonder if they really do have a plan, or if it's just like a wish.
It's a wish. Chances are it's a wish. 99% of people don't have that plan. That's why 1% of the people is really in the 1%. You know what I mean?
Now 1%. Now, what are other ways that you can hack your way, or like what would you say that for the individuals who are struggling even to just save? What are the top, short enough the list here, top 3 things you would recommend for somebody if they can't even get into like they can't even save $2 into their savings? What would be the best recommendation for that individual and in themselves? Because I know individuals who can't even put away a quarter right now.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I would tell them to do, first of all, outside of like having a budget, right? Because once you have your budget, you look at everything you're really spending your money on, you'll be surprised at how much you can actually cut out. So like that's like one obvious answer. But I would say, and something we always talk about too, is like, you know how people be saying like communities always talk about that. We be laughing like, how do you save more money? Man, stop drinking coffee. Like, stop drinking coffee. That'll save you $50 a year. Like, all right, bro. Like, nah, you need to learn a skill set that can make you money you need to generate more money. It's really that simple. Like, especially in this time period we're headed into in 2023, with the economy gonna potentially have a lot of layoffs coming and stuff like that. You need to find a way to be self-sufficient and leverage a skill to bring in more money for yourself. That way you can now invest, right? Because it's chances are your job is not gonna bring you the level up on your income fast enough unless you're changing jobs, which is another strategy. Some people job hop, right? No,
Job hopper. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even gonna say something about that just because I was a job hopper up until I picked up my own craft and shit. I was at job 15 before I fully decided to take myself serious and really look at the life like, damn, I really can't be taking this high school mentality until all these jobs really, and just had no work ethic.
I hear that. I think from what you're saying, just to piggyback, the first step, obviously, have a budget, right? If you don't have a budget, you probably won't even know how much you can or cannot save. That's step number one. Step number two, like if you're trying to get a new gig, a lot of people sometimes feel like they don't have a skill, right? I don't have a skill, I don't know what to do. Just go get another job. Literally, if you work at Target, go work at Walmart. It's the same company essentially, right? And just double down. That's what I would say. Because at the end of the day, yeah, bro, like unfortunately, if you're making $15 an hour right now, or you're making $20 an hour right now, whatever you're making, it's not cutting it for you, right? So rather than you complaining about it, if you can't literally find a skill, which I'm sure you could, but you really think you can't, just go get another job. And yes, you're gonna have to work harder. That's the only way. I'm sorry. If you don't have a skill, you're not able to save. I gave it to you exactly how it is. You're gonna need another job. Get it, work on it. How about this? You work on it for another 6 months. The money that you're making from another job, split it to the point where you cover the rest with your expenses, right? Let's just say you have $2,000 from Walmart, $2,000 from Target now. Now you have $4K. You need $2,200 for your expenses. You still have $1,800 left to play with. $1,800 for 6 months. Now you could save enough to cover yourself for 3 months of expenses. And then you can also invest. And now you get to the point where, yo, maybe I could actually like go of my second job, and the money I made from my investing, I could pull that out and invest it into another gig now, potentially that could give me more money. Right. And then you start spiraling. And then now you're playing with actual money. Because that's how it's gonna happen. Like I think a lot of people complain about not having a skill and they don't want to put in the work. Then you're gonna be broke. And you're gonna be like the 99% and then just accept that.
Yeah, and honestly, like you know, you can invest in things too, but you can also like just literally invest in yourself to learn that skill. Like
Literally.
pay for somebody's course, or there's free courses online. You can go to Udemy. There's so many different places you could go to get free information. Like, and also once you have that skill set, you can now make your own course and sell that. That's another income generator. Like a skill set that I didn't learn by myself at first is options trading. That's a way that you can make money on a daily. So it's like literally learning a skill set that can bring you in money every single day. And then I got a mentor. I paid for my mentor to teach me even more. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Lawrence. These are two people that taught me a lifetime's worth of information on the options trading side. And now I have a skill set that now that I'm nicer, that yeah, I can provide for myself, but I could also now eventually down the line have my own community the same way that they do. You can make income from that. You can have income from courses. And now it's like you just found a skill set that gave you multiple streams of income by just taking the time for a small section of your life to grind and learn a skill set. And boom, your whole life can be changed.
Bro, you know you can get paid for literally being left-handed. There's ways to do that. I'm not even joking. You can literally do that. You can get paid for taking a quiz online. You get paid for doing surveys. It's not, I'm not saying you're going to make $500 a month, but an extra $10, $20, if you're not even to save even $2 a month, the extra $20 lifts you. Now you're starting to get other streams of revenue going, and you're going to be there sooner than you think.
See, and then you hit the nail on the head when it comes down to the hard work actual aspect. That coming from the fitness industry, that is one of the things that people have the hardest time understanding, is that it actually is just hard work in general for everything. And that's why I try to correlate. That's proper English for that. Correlate the fitness industry, but also with just life in general, like being in a gym, but also how is it, how can I compare what you're doing right now in this gym to what you're doing in real life?
Yeah.
And when you actually show up for the days you don't want to show up, when you actually put in the work on the days that you're feeling a little sore, but you actually still, you your goal is there, the hard work is there.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones who then are able to actually take that same success and translate it into their business world, because they understand the basic concept of discipline. They understand the basic concept of consistency.
Yep.
And that knowing it's just not overnight results. And then the fact that you have individuals who want to take the magic pill, or they want to invest in a magic coin that's going to give them the magic results overnight, so they can literally live a stress-free life just like that.
Mm-hmm.
If I had their mentality, I would still be the same trainer that I was, making $75 every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. That's
literally barely putting maybe $5 into the gas tank to get me enough to the gym and back.
Mm-hmm.
And then living off of ramen noodles, PB&Js, and tap water.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was my life for literally a few months of the training. But because I saw a vision, I saw the mentality, I knew exactly if I put the hard work in, if I took the second job, which then eventually I did. I took the second job working overnight at Planet Fitness.
Right.
Still in the fitness world. I'm not a trainer, but I'm still, still doing something in the fitness world. And I got benefits. And I got paid time off. And I got paid vacation leave and all that stuff as well. Planet Fitness, not this. Gym wise, I'll shut on a gym for everything. But as far as like actual gym, God. But as far as like for actual for working there and being an employee, it's really not that bad.
Yeah,
you get paid a pretty damn good salary. You get paid a good amount of hours just to sit at the desk.
The same exact thing. That's why I said Target. A lot of people don't have benefits. You go to Target, they give you a lot of benefits.
And it's the easiest job. Like, yes, they are, not the best jobs, but there's something that's going to get you to where you want to be. Like, if you actually take the time, like what I did with Planet Fitness, I worked there for 2 years at the same time while building my clientele, giving out free hour sessions, literally telling people at Planet Fitness while working overnight, they came into the gym. If I knew them, they can come in for free for the night, and I'll literally just give them an hour and tell them what to do. The amount of clientele I built from them doing that, even if it's just like paying me $20 or $30 for a session after that, that was more than I was making at that. Now having the ability to say like, yeah, I charge $50 for the hour now, but that's because of the amount of game that I have now to give you.
Right.
Like, I'm not like, when you walk away from an hour session with me, you're not only just walking away with what to do. You're walking away to do for the week. You're walking away with what to do for a month. You're walking away with what to do for even for the hell of the rest of the year if I had a good enough conversation with you during the session.
Yep.
If you can show me that you're really going to put that hard work in, I will meet you there.
Right.
I'll beat you there. I'll beat you there. But I will have you make sure that you meet me there.
Facts.
Every time.
That's fire.
So, and that's the way I feel like y'all lead as well. And that's what also you guys have been there. Like, you guys actually have been to the point where it's like you see people's struggles, you live their struggles, you know what they can go through. So, what's one of the most aggravating things that you guys hear on a day-to-day basis from people, like these excuses? What are some of the things that you hear? Because I want to shift topic a little bit, just because I hear a lot of excuses going into this next year that, oh, I couldn't start this because it's the new year coming up. I didn't want to start. I'll just wait till next year.
Yeah.
Why wait? So for me personally, it's like the waiting. Like, so talk to me a little bit. Like, what's the number?
How much time you got, brother?
Yeah, honestly, I'll actually pass on this one because, bro, I'll actually start I try not to curse on camera, but I go crazy. So I'm just trying to. I'm honestly a mean one. Like, I smile up, I'm definitely the mean one.
But here's the
thing. This one.
Some people do genuinely need that little bit of a kick in the ass, bro, in order for you to actually understand.
I'll punch you in your face. I don't care if I kick in the ass. Like, I'll go on for days, but I'll let him answer it first.
Now, the number one thing I hate hearing is I don't have time. Yo, first and foremost, usually the people saying that to me do not have a schedule as busy as neither me nor Zuski's, and we still find time to do everything that we do at a high level at that. So that's for one. I don't have time kills me, because you really have time for what you want to have time for. And then if you really look at how you execute your days, if you really had a camera on yourself, you will see that you have plenty of time. You've just been spending the time that you have like unwisely, right? Like, you've been using your time inefficiently. And so it's like, everybody has time. We had 24 hours. It's about what you want to spend your time on. You got to look at your priorities. So an activity that we did in Bamboo Group, for example, was I had everybody write out their priorities in order. Like, what is number one priority, number two, number three, number four? And then I said, does your week actually reflect that? Like, when you look at how you execute your week, could a person have a camera on you and say, yeah, I know his priorities. Number one is definitely personal training. Number two is his family. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Can a person actually look at your week and know your priorities? And chances are, a lot of times, like, nah, the way you execute your days doesn't even reflect what you claim your priorities are. You need to change your schedule around to reflect what you claim your priorities are. And then you'll see minute by minute, yeah, you got more time than you think. It's an excuse, though. It's an excuse. People got to say that because it makes them feel better about the failure that they have in life. Like, I would have been this, but I ain't had time to like get it. I would have had a business, but I ain't had time. I don't hit none of that, bro. If you really wanted a business, you could have been had that done. You know what I'm saying? Take Netflix out.
You sure you don't want to go into this a little bit over here?
I got you. I'll say he handled the time well. I'll just say being a victim. I think a lot of people
Fucking thank you. Thank you.
I think a lot of people, I hate to say it, y'all stink. Like a lot of people say that, yo, like life is hard, or I have a lot going on right now. I'm dealing with a lot mentally and it's just tough and I just got fired. Okay, so let's just take all of that out, right? Let's say all that's true. Now you have two options. Option A, you literally just sit there and complain. Nothing happens, no improvement. You're at the same spot you were yesterday, the last week, et cetera, et cetera. Or you get up and do something. But most people, misery loves company, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
So now you're going to be a victim. You sit there and cry about it, and nothing happens. But if you decide to get up and just do something, so many things can happen. I don't even care if it's $1 extra you made. That's more than you had before, than your story, right? Say you literally got fired. Okay, well, did you apply to jobs? No. Why? Because you're scared. You're already at zero. Like you already don't have a job. Yes. So if someone says no to you, you already heard the no.
Exactly.
You know? So it's like, all right, what else is there? What other excuses do people usually make when they're upset? I'm going through a mental problem. I need people to understand, I think mental health is extremely important, but don't use that as an excuse when you aren't actually going through something mentally. You're just going through something because you're making it up in your own head, right? Like there's people who actually have mental issues that go and see a therapist, that go and see a doctor. But you are just saying sometimes that, yeah, I'm not feeling it because it's raining outside. I'm not really in that mindset right now because it's raining. You're letting literally like you getting wet stop you from achieving your goal. That's what blows my mind, right? And I think I'm personally, I'm tired of that. Like I've given out so much game, so much hard work to be able to pick people up. And now I'm like, bro, you can enjoy the show at this point because there's no point in me helping you. You don't want to help yourself. That's what the victim and the time thing is disgusting to me. I stopped talking to a girl because I told her, I have time. You're just not priority. And that's the honest.
All right, guys. Last thing I'm going to bother you guys with. So the Welshcare store that you're also going to see in the description down below, that's where you're going to find my excess energy drink. That's where you're going to find my essential amino acids on the go. That's where you're going to find my collagen gummies, my vitamin D gummies, my blue light gummies, and then also my vitamin C gummies. Looking over here because that's where my computer is and I can see exactly where I'm, weathermanning at this over here. So if you are somebody who has a hard time taking pill vitamins, then the gummies are right there. If you're somebody who's looking for that little bit of a pick-me-up throughout the day, it's the perfect little shot of energy. It's 85 milligrams, less than a cup of coffee, and there's a variety of flavors I guarantee that every single one of you will like. So if you want to contribute any type of way towards this channel or towards just Welshcare or just to support me in general, go to the Welshcare store down below in the description. Order any of the products on there. If you want to sample anything, shoot me a DM and I'll send you over a couple samples. Take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
That's the honest truth. Like my time, we have enough time. I could have told you I don't have time today, but no, I just decided to say, yo, I'm making this priority. Like I'm gonna fit into my schedule.
Facts.
Everyone has time. You just don't spend it wisely because you just don't prioritize stuff. So the moment you tell yourself, yo, I have time for X, Y, Z, and the other stuff is not priority, watch how everything changes. Things will move out your way. Like my other partner, Rashawn, I've been saying this for a minute. Anything and everything we want, we're going to get. You're going to have to move out the way because we're making time. Simple.
See, that making the time, especially in just overall in the fitness world, is the number one excuse I hear all the time from people is I don't got enough time to work out. You don't even need a full hour to work out.
No.
Most of my clients are half-hour clients. So to give you a breakdown, when I do personal training, I break it down to hour sessions and half-hour sessions because I know not everybody can always afford a full hour session. So I even do the cheaper thing of actually going down to half hours for them. And if they want to stack up half hours per day, they can stack up the half hours and work an hour. But when they buy a half hour, they see why they only need a half hour to work out. And it actually does help change up their mentality of working out. You don't need a full 2.5 hours of being in the gym, just talking your ass off, recording yourself, talking on Instagram. Literally, I see some of the most time wasted in the gym from people. Like people get to the gym and then they spend more time on their phone than actually spend working out.
That happened today, bro. This time period right after Christmas, oh my Jesus.
This is the worst,
bro. And this, and then the next 2 months, oh my God. And it's gonna be annoying because like the scheduling, the way we were just talking about, we make time for things at certain odd times, right? So at times we want to go would be like 8 or 9. It's still gonna be packed now.
Yeah.
Or you go in there in the morning, but it's like it's still gonna be packed now because y'all still bozos who are gonna try to show up.
For the first month, not even. When I worked Planet Fitness, it was the first 2 weeks of January.
Yeah.
Oh man,
the first 2 weeks of
I
January.
gave them an extra 2 weeks. There.
Yes.
You gave him too much time. I haven't given him extra time by saying 2 weeks. It's usually by the end of the first week of the new year. It's like 75% of the America's population completely decides, I'll try again next year. Yeah. And it's like you still got 345 more days to go. Why are you still quitting now? Like you still have so many more opportunities.
I'm gonna say this though, like I know it's in your craft, you have to motivate them, but like I even told Newski, like I'm tired of talking to people that's not committed to nothing, like that people that just all talk. Like I'm done wasting my time with that because honestly, I don't think you could change them. Mm-hmm. If they don't want to change for themselves, like there's nothing you could do. You can't motivate them into it. You can't give them wise words into it or nothing like that. I feel like anybody who's a leader in their respective spaces or anybody who's a go-getter, you need to just focus on developing yourself. And whoever is really hungry for the information, they're gonna follow you. Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say those exact words. They're gonna follow you. So you don't even worry about trying to take people out the dirt because they're not gonna lead the dirt unless they want to lead the dirt, bro. Simply
you gotta want, bro. Like you ever been in a situation where you really like, and that's why I hate the victim mentality. You're already so low. It's like, bro, you ever want something so freaking bad, you're just tired. You're literally just fed up of losing.
Yeah.
And when that hits, that's when things will change. We can't change that for you. You gotta feel that pain. Like, damn, I stink. I'm broke. I have nothing going on for me. Watch how I switch shirts. What's up, bro? You're just gonna go crazy.
I mean, in reality, I don't want to bring it back to that, but like when like 5 years ago, when I started as personal trainer, I'm driving around a 1999 Lincoln Town Car with over 200,000 miles on it, and it's breaking down on me every couple. If you see that vision, there's going to be numerous obstacles. There's going to be multiple demons and the devil trying to tell you, no, this ain't it. You ain't about this. It's gonna be like you ain't this strong. You ain't about that. You ain't show up the next day. Like, oh, you're a little weak now, you're a little sore, you ain't gonna show up the next day.
Thanks.
Oh, you're a little broke now, you ain't gonna show up tomorrow and try to put some money into your pocket. Like I was also door dashing at the same time. Mm-hmm. Technically doing 3 things all at one time just because it's like I want to work towards that goal.
Yeah.
Side note, door dashing, Uber eating is actually a great way to make some extra side money at the same time. And especially at DoorDash because you only need a bicycle. You don't even need a car.
I just skipped the dishes in Buffalo. It's the same thing. I don't even know if y'all know that one. You guys know that one?
You told me about it. I did DoorDash myself before. I used to do that.
Yeah, I did skip the dishes in college.
Skip the dishes. I knew
they were trying to do
Steamless.
They were trying to like do the Buffalo thing and like blow up. But I guess they didn't. I'm sorry.
I mean, when you got competitors like Uber Eats and DoorDash and Grubhub, it's like it's already that Valley's already saturated. Right. There's already numerous different ways. Postmates.
Right.
Postmates is even struggling right now. Postmates is struggling right now too because they got the competition is Uber Eats now does
all that.
They do all the other stores that they used to do now. They do 7-Elevens. Now they do the drugstores. Mm-hmm. Now you can literally get your pharmacy medication from DoorDash.
Right.
Like
and that's if we're going to the business side of things, I think it's extremely important to when you're starting a business to not look at what everyone else is doing, right? Of course, you don't want to like create your own wheel, right? You want to restructure and re-engineer and like figure things out what makes sense and just make small corrections. But if you think about it, if the market size is already too much in the favor of 1 or 2 companies, you probably don't want to go into that industry unless you have something that they don't have. in this case, unfortunately, Skip the Dishes or Postmate, there's nothing really that they have that the other companies don't. And if they do have it, they haven't shown the value behind it, right? So that's just a business sense.
No, it's smart business, especially because then you have, I want to bring AdX into this. The club company, they said that they see me swinging around,
Yeah.
like Don took an industry where there was only set weighted maces and set weighted clubs, and so damn, if I can only make them adjustable, and he brought his idea, and then boom, got a whole like a new realm, like a whole new door for it. It's not necessarily like you said before, just like making a whole new wheel. It's like it's customizing that wheel, putting some thick rims on it.
That's what I always say. I say you don't gotta reinvent the wheel, just put some rims on it.
Yeah.
That's like,
what's the mastermind behind that? Like, like think about it.
The iPhone, it's like the same damn thing.
Bro,
it's just
a phone. Go back to music. Like the over the year things, like the Sony ones that people used to rock the MP3s.
Yeah.
What did Apple really do? They just said, okay, you guys like to listen to music. Now, what if I put music in a small nano type of thing, and you could have as much music as you want? What if I do that? Would you guys like that?
Exactly.
Yeah. They didn't reinvent anything, bro. They just thought of a new way to make music accessible in a fashion that you don't have to carry around 5 pounds around. You just carry around one thing.
And it made it so like their brand too. Because like even if you just like growing up in Brentwood, I had an MP3 player. I didn't have my family couldn't afford an actual iPod. And so I like it still did the same thing. But the fact that an iPod costs that much, and it's just because like the branding behind it, it was a brilliant business tactic that they carried it over into their phones, and it's just now like carried over into the iPads. And now I really wonder how their healthcare system is going to drop in 2025, right? Is it 2020?
Well, they already are. You mean if they get more into healthcare?
Yeah.
Well, bro, they're already in healthcare to a different extent. Like right now, like even the health app, that's huge with healthcare. They could like the Apple Watch, that's huge with healthcare. They're able to track your blood pressure. They could tell if now this is crazy. Now there's a system where if a baby's crying, it can detect that. It can tell if you're about to have a heart attack as well. It measures everything for you. Now they're also breaking into data in the sense of getting data from pharmacies to collect how that looks. So they could, I'm assuming here, they're probably going to take that data and then put it into like their Apple Watch and make that product even better. To be like, oh, well, people struggle with this. This is what happens when people are sick. What if there's a way to detect if you're going to get sick? I wouldn't be surprised if Apple does that.
And then they have their Apple cars, which could turn into Apple ambulances, right? And so now they could send out ambulances based on the data that they're collecting from your health vitals, right? That they're getting from the health app.
So there's a lot of ways to go about it. And I'm just saying the reason why we're able to think like this, bro, is because you're just student of the games. Like you really got to study the game.
You guys are seeing like the overall big picture. Like when I tell people like Apple's going into healthcare, they're like, wait, what? It's like the average person doesn't even know that their feet is already wet in the industry, and that
forget wet, bro. They jumped in. They're in it. They've been in it for a while. The Apple Watch was a huge thing for them.
All these companies are thinking ahead right now. I mean, all the major companies are getting into healthcare too, between Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, right? Well, they're all into healthcare, and healthcare is like the biggest industry in the country. But even outside of that, just like if you look at every major industry coming into the future, all those same companies, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, they're all heavily invested into every major technology coming out for the next 5 to 10 years. And so in a bear market right now that we're in, where stocks are severely discounted, everybody's running away while these companies are building out our futures on the low when nobody's looking. And then when things start to trend up again and stocks get popular again, and you see these companies take off, you can be like, damn, I should have got into these companies back in 2022 when I was too scared to get in. It's like, bro, y'all think these companies are not working underground right now? Y'all need to be buying these companies now when nobody's talking about it.
But they actually $80 right now. Like that's mind blowing.
Yo, let me say one thing with that on Amazon, bro. Y'all have to look at it like this. Amazon is severely discounted right now. So obviously the stock sold off. Which I want you to think is, has Amazon's business gotten worse or better over the past year or two? Their business has gotten better. Their business has literally improved, and their stock price has plummeted. That is not bad. That is an opportunity. That is literally a Christmas gift for you. We just had Christmas yesterday, right? Like that is a gift for you, bro. Please look into. I'm not gonna tell you what to buy or what not to buy, but at least do your research on Amazon. Like,
Yeah. Nah, the point I was gonna make is, you know how you said during this time period companies are investing and doing everything they have to do in like underground.
Mhm.
So ExxonMobil actually was doing really well during this time period, right? Because the oil and everything and the price was going up for them, like for the actual ticker itself and the company. They were actually moving the smart way. Their CEO actually came out and was talking about how essentially a lot of other oil companies and gas companies, what they do is they spend money on innovation when their price is already high, right? So it's like, well, your price is already high. Now you're spending money on innovation. That's cool, but it's like, that's not really going to push your price that much higher because you're already at a certain point, right? What Exxon does is when their prices are low, they're using their cash to put money into innovation, right? Because they have that funding. They're able to do that. And now, during this time period, Exxon went insane because they put in that time earlier when no one was talking about them. They were putting money into innovation, putting money into technology, and really growing their company. And now they, during this terrible market when the S&P 500 is down, ExxonMobil did great, and now they're paying higher dividends and doing more stock buybacks. That's what Microsoft's doing. That's what Apple's doing. That's what Amazon's doing. All these companies are just working on themselves right now and just getting to the bag. Simple as that. And no one's talking about it because the market is red, which is fine. I'm not telling you to buy right now. To be honest, the market's probably going to go lower. But at the same time, you could buy in small chunks and do your thing. And then if it presents itself the opportunity, say September comes, because we predicted in the market that September is going to be a pretty good time to buy it, hopefully, right? Because the stock's going to be lower. You could go in even deeper.
So for those individuals who think like, you know, the opportunity is like going to go by like next week, that
No.
wait, this is going to be for at least a year, maybe even 2 years of this.
To cover our own butts, we'll say this, that we can't give any legal advice or like any type of like stock market or any investing tips whatsoever, right? But yeah, we do think there's more downside to come.
And just because if you guys see right now why stocks have plummeted is because every time the Federal Reserve increases interest rates, the stock market reacts negatively to it, right? And so people are kind of waiting on the Fed to say, hey, we're going to start decreasing interest rates. And it's projected that they're going to start decreasing interest rates around September right now. It's a general consensus. It's all predictions.
Yeah, August. It was because we looked at August, September. Remember, we were like, it's going to go down and change.
Yeah, anyway, it's like the later half of 2023, right? And so, and it's all consensus. So at the end of the day, what happens historically is when they make that pivot to decrease, you would think that stocks are going to go parabolic in the upward direction, but actually, historically, they tend to hit their bottom after the Fed pivots, and then they go crazy after that. So, like, if anything, 2024 is when we're kind of expecting a bull market, not just for stocks, but also for cryptos, when you have Bitcoin's halving event coming in April of 2024, projected to be. So when Bitcoin has a halving event, usually Bitcoin's price goes crazy. Look into history and you'll see that. So it kind of lines up with the stock market trending upwards, as well as Bitcoin and crypto having a bull run in 2024. So 2024, Kobe year, is looking like the year that asset prices should be back to heading towards inflationary levels again.
And we talked about this on the channel too. We like had a whole video where we broke all that down because there's different phases, as he just said, right? Like right now we're just in a phase where we're getting clapped. Like that's a part of it.
Now, before, fuck, it was something I was going to say before. While I try to regain my thought again from what I was going to say before. Channel.
Mm-hmm.
When did you guys officially start your channel?
January. Like literally this 2022.
So within this year alone, I know you guys are a little about just under 500 subscribers now.
No,
we're
we're
600.
Yeah.
600.
Yeah.
So you guys are literally creeping in on 1,000 subscribers, and you guys
That's
are because of your consistency. It's you post when again?
Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 times a week.
two videos a week. Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:00 both.
Yeah,
Eastern.
So that you guys are actually on my notifications, like
really?
as far as like when
Appreciate that,
when of course, just because I said before, when pre-game, like the way you guys drop, it's not even just like you guys are spending an hour talking. It's literally a 10 to 15 minute clip.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't have 10 to 15 minutes. Fuck working out. You don't have 10 to 15 minutes to just study in on something just that can literally point you in the right direction on the madness that's currently going on right now in this country, in this economy that I mean, it's a global economy too, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
bro, it's terrible right now. We think our interest rates are bad. We think our inflation's bad. The world is doing terrible. It's honestly, US is not in as bad predicament as other countries right now.
So would you say that people shouldn't be as nervous or as scared as they are right now?
No, I think people should be, because I always put people towards precaution, because if you're not, like, right now, I actually just we talk about this all the time. Like, I just added more to my savings because I want to make sure I'm covered, right? Like, at the end of the day, so you should take precaution right now, and don't. Yeah, we're not as bad as saying like other countries, but that doesn't mean that you can go and start spending money on whatever. You still gotta be careful, because we're predicting the market to go down. There's going to be more layoffs happen. Tech just had their stuff. Banking is about to go crazy. You have to remember when bonus season is for banks, right? So when banking does their layoffs, it's going to be a huge different thing. Retail hasn't even hit as much as it is right now. So that's another thing. So when all that happens, unfortunately, people get fired, you're going to have savings. So I would still precaution people to take action and put money in savings.
And just to like say for the the prediction about the stock market potentially hitting its bottom later in 2023, that is just strictly going off of history.
All right, guys. So real quick, I want to talk to you a little bit about the newest sponsor to the channel, and that is VIST. So for those who don't know what VIST is, and for those who missed out on that episode with my boy Eric, who is the owner of the company, VIST is a overall supplement company, but for now they are sponsoring She Legit. Well, not sponsoring, they are pushing more She Legit. For those who don't know what She Legit is basically a potent herbal mineral that is, I want to say, packed out with minerals that are lacking in the average human's body or average human's nutritional diet, or however you want to describe that English. And it actually translates to Sanskrit, if I'm pronouncing that right, Sanskrit. She Legit is translates to conqueror of mountains and destroyer of weakness. And I can tell you firsthand that me being on this the last 2 or 3 months now, consistently, I definitely have noticed a little bit more of a strength increase, but I've also noticed a lot of other things that have helped out with testosterone as well. So for those who are looking for a little bit more of that extra push in the gym, the more natural way, it's not testosterone. This is not testosterone. This is not even anything like that on the market. There's nothing else like this. Use code Welshcare at checkout. I believe it's anywhere 10 to 20% off. I don't know what you said. So 10 to 20% off. Use code Welshcare, WELSHCARE. I believe it's 10% off. Use that at checkout and get yourself a month supply. Try it out. Give yourself a full month of consistently being on it, and I guarantee you'll see at least some type of result. She Legit. VIST. Welshcare. Get it.
Strictly going off of history, so nothing is guaranteed. So 62% of the time, that's what has happened. Who knows? We might be a part of that 38 right now, where
I hope,
you know what I'm saying. Like the stock market already hit its bottom prior to the Fed pivot. We would just speak on strictly history. So if the stock market doesn't bottom in 2023 and it already bottomed, we were just talking about history.
Yeah. That's why you have the DCA, right? Like we're not out here with a crystal ball. Like
right.
A lot of things that we said have happened, and we take pride in that, because like we do a lot of research to learn and figure things out and look at what history has done, right? But certain things we've been wrong on too, and that's okay. But at the same time, you have to cover your butt. Like if you're dollar cost averaging across this way, you're gonna be fine no matter what, right? You took advantages of other time periods. And if you think a company is a good buy right now and you want to buy it, and it's a strong company that has good cash flow, that doesn't have that much debt, and is actually innovating, then yeah, buy it. It's still a good time to buy. It doesn't mean you should completely hold your cash and lock in everything until wait for the bottom. Don't try to time the market. If you have $10,000 right now and you want to invest, don't dump in 10, don't dump in 5. Maybe put in a K, right? And then put in another K if it goes lower, and then put another K and it goes low. And then you feel like, yo, it's actually at a point where it's severely discounted. Okay, cool. Here you go.
Buy great businesses, simply put. Businesses.
It's not the time to invest in the next big thing. It's just not. You want to be smart with your money right now.
Now, God forbid, like if somebody's watching this and they do get laid off, what is the first thing you would want somebody to do if they got laid off? They got a job, they got nothing to do. What's that person supposed to do as soon as they get laid off?
They just got laid off.
Like they like just got laid off. What are they doing?
You want to handle it? Should I handle this one?
I got it.
One, don't feel bad for yourself, right? It already happened. Let's accept that. Two, network, right? Like for the people that got laid off, a lot who did this were better when they got laid off. I don't want you to go on LinkedIn and start crying about it. What I want you to do is hit up other people in your company that they might know someone and like, hey, you know my situation. I just got laid off. I was wondering if there's anyone you can connect me to. Right off the bat, right? Use your referral and your network to get into another job. And then two, you already got that covered. Let's go into three. Bro, start applying. What are you holding back on, right? Apply to new jobs. You should already be applying before you got laid off because the writing's on the wall right now. Like, I don't want anyone in corporate America to think you're safe. I don't care who you are. Make sure you're already applying. Make sure you're networking. I know directors got laid off, partners who ended up having to leave. I know people who are associates, analysts that got fired. Like, y'all have to be very careful when it comes down to this. So always have your network ready, always have your resume ready, and just make sure you're connecting with people that can put you in the right situations.
And just to add on to it, once again, learn a skill. There is no point where like you're giving people permission to starve you, right? You got to be able to feed yourself at all times. Do not give nobody permission to starve you because guarantee you they will starve you eventually, right? In order to feed themselves better. And so what you need to do is find a skill, learn a skill that can bring you money in multiple ways and master the hell out of that starting like yesterday, like for real, because it's about to be tough in 2023. It's projected to be. And so you want to be prepared right now. We already said 2023 preseason, right? This is when y'all should be learning them skills. So by the time the season starts in 2023, you're on your way to mastery of a skill. And if your boss, quote unquote, happens to lay you off, you like, I'm good regardless. I know how to make bread every day, regardless, bro. And that's power. That's the real power. That's freedom.
That's the true freedom. And you you brought up something earlier, as far as like people, everybody says they want financial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody said no one even understands what true freedom is. Like, yeah, you have all that money, but how much are your bills? How much is that car that you just bought? How much is the family that you have? How much is the house? It's like, yeah, all that money, but all that money is not going right, all this other different things. So you don't have the time that you want. Time is the ultimate freedom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's being able to just say like, okay, yeah, I feel like taking today to really focus on my mental health, so I'm gonna move everything over to like later on. That's a superpower in this generation.
Mm-hmm.
That is a low-key superpower in this generation that not a lot of people understand that everybody can do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of finding your own skill and staying disciplined and committed towards it.
Right.
Like, I didn't become this good of a trainer overnight. I didn't literally become boom. I have all this knowledge. Like, no, trial and error. I got fired for some places. Guess what I did later on that night? The same exact night, I drove around and dropped off my resume. Not even applied. I just dropped off a resume saying, hey, I'm gonna apply to your place. Here's my resume ahead of time.
Fire. Solution based. Action taker.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, and you can't feel bad for yourself, bro.
No, you can't. And what blows my mind is that I actually I do know a couple people who have recently just gotten laid off, and they have still not even applied, and it's been 3 weeks.
Oh, that's nothing. I know people who are gone to a year.
How do you go a year without applying to something new? That's mind blowing in itself.
And that's why I tell people it's the mental health is actually serious for some people, and others you're just playing around and using it as an excuse. Like, that's not cool. That's not cool.
It's not cool to the people who truly do suffer. Like I myself, who I see my therapist every single week. I take the actions I need to do to control my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Between the anxiety, depression, PTSD, and everything else that's going on upstairs, I take an action towards it. Yeah, it sucks some days. Doesn't mean I'm still in bed all day.
Right.
Like, do I want to be? Absolutely. Could I be? Absolutely. But do I know is it just going to do anything else for me? No, it's gonna keep me there. It's like that. It's the voices. It's the warm, comforting hug into your bed of saying you don't need to do anything today. You don't need to move from here. This is all just you're going through a lot right now. It's like the reality is it's the blunt statement to say, but the sun comes up regardless tomorrow, regardless of what's going on in your situation.
Real life.
It's we actually talk about this in the book club for Atomic Habits, right? It's called the feedback loop. Literally, it's a whole feedback loop that occurs, and essentially, it's annoying, but it's what it is. So when you're in the moment, like currently, right? Like I love Oreos, so I always say this is the thing. Like if I have something, I instantly feel like, wow, that was a good decision, right? It's most likely not. It's really not. If you feel like really good about it right off the bat, it's like, oh my God, like I had Oreos, I feel great. Bro, that's the easiest decision you could have made, which is why it's not the best decision for you. And that's why staying in bed is the easiest thing you can do. It's not the best decision for you. You get fired from your job. It's the easiest thing to feel bad and go call people up. And one time I saw this quote and it stuck with me like, yo, after you call the first person for help and assistance to be like, yo, I got laid off. Can you help me out? Can you help me out? I call him. He'll tell me one thing, right? I call you. You'll tell me another thing. You're the second person I called. How many more people do I need to call before I realize that y'all can't help me? Right now, I'm gonna call a third person. I'm looking for attention at that point. I'm not looking for a solution.
That's what it is. You're attention seeking.
Right.
That's not anything. You're not feeling. You are literally not taking any solution actions towards it. You're not taking any proper steps towards that actual solution. You just want to sit there and just get the attention and the comforting hugs. Like, oh, it's gonna be okay. Don't worry. You're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
That's why I hate this generation. That's why I can't do the soft stuff. I can't. I just think it's so stupid.
Facts.
Like when I'm training, you guys walked right past my equipment as well.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how shitty it is, the weather is on the outside. If I can't make it to the gym, if it's too sleepy, guess what? My workout still gets done.
Facts.
Or even just like the stock studying.
Mm-hmm.
The bamboo group really put me onto that as far as like actually taking the time of taking an hour every single day and really looking over like where is going, like what's going, and
Right.
listening to certain people speak as far as like crypto wise, why crypto is not too scary to be a part of, why credit is truly king right now. And there's all these other things that if I was just somebody who just wanted to sit on my ass and just really watch over the next YouTube video and just it's just like you have a super computer in your pockets that can spit the freaking if you go to the right spots, if you go to the right areas, because there's a lot of bullshit being spewed out nowadays also as well. A lot of fake influencers, a lot of fake people putting out the hard work just for Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one that pisses me off the most.
Yeah, that's never gonna stop though, right? And that's why you kind of just have to get numb to it.
They take the pictures in the gym for just the couple or the one set they do one set of it. They do one set. And then they record 5 reps of it, and then they put it down, they walk away, and that's it. They literally just did it for the Instagram. That is just like
everybody do everything for clout right now.
The clout, the fucking clout. That is it. It truly is one of the most dangerous drugs because everybody wants it regardless.
Yeah, it's tough though because like I also get to where nobody listens to people unless they're showing that, and it's frustrating. So they might realize that like, damn, nobody's gonna listen to me unless I show the fact that I really do lift every day like this. And so then now that I have their attention, now I can tell them what I want to tell them. And it's kind of tough. And so you gotta like almost as a listener, you have to do your due diligence now to where you can't just take in information from one source all the time. You want to make sure that if I heard something new, I go and check for myself and make sure that, make sure that you could back test what they're saying.
You gotta validate everything, right? If you're not gonna do it, it's just you're setting yourself up. It's like, bro, when you try to date a girl, right? And you hear things around her. Like, yo, she got with this person, that person. You're not just gonna be like, all right, cool. You're gonna call your bros and be like, yo, what's the facts, bro? Like, how we looking? And then boom, and then that's how you take a decision. Anything in life, like, you get a new job, you're gonna consult people and be like, yeah, what do you think? Is this a good company? Have you worked there, et cetera, et cetera? Validate everything in life.
Yeah. Don't over validate. Like that people hold on to validation as like they need their validation. That's another reason why I feel like
I think that's a whole different ballgame though. Like when you're trying to over validate something, like, yeah, I'm the man, I'm really him. Like
that's like self-validation.
Like that's it gets to a point where it's like, bro, okay, yeah, you're the man. Now you need other people to tell you the man. Now you just have fake confidence, right? Now you're just like not really confident in what you do. You're just trying to get people to tell you that you're him. What have you really done to be him? Not much. And that's the fake confidence that pops out, which is what a lot of people have.
That statement today, he is him, or I am him. It's just like,
I don't think there's something wrong with it. Personally, I really don't think there's anything wrong. I just think there's something wrong with it when you don't actually believe that yourself. I always tell people like, yo, you're him. You should be proud of what you're doing. Like, believe that. Because when you believe it, you don't need anyone else to tell you.
That's the catch. When you believe it, you don't even look for that validation.
You don't like. I walk around to a spot. I'm not looking for you to tell me yo, you're really successful in what you do. I'm proud of you, et cetera, et cetera. Like I get awkward when people tell me that, bro. Because I'm like, I don't, it's weird. Don't tell me that. I'm gonna do it myself. Like I wholeheartedly believe that I'm doing something right. I don't need you to tell me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not, and not to be rude or nothing. Like, appreciate is like I appreciate everything that's given. You know what I mean? Like, thankful for everything. But at the same time, like I'm not looking to go into a crowd and be like, "Can you validate me today?" Like, that's not something I'm doing.
Can you tell me I'm cool?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, do I smell good? Can you give me a hug? Like, I'm okay, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not really needed. And that's the whole part of the group, even. Like, to bring it back full circle, we didn't start the group for you to come in here for 3 months and be like, yeah, you need to come back again for another 6 months. Like, bro, no, like, we're not trying to take your money. That's not the point. Like, we're trying to make you self-sufficient. Like, literally, we're teaching you how to fish. Be self-sufficient. Like, don't just come here with the expectation that we're gonna like handhold you and give you everything. Nah, bro. We want you to learn it and apply it. That's the goal there. 3 months and you're gonna be a different person.
Respectfully, the money we make off the community is not really doing nothing for us. It's not even nothing we like. Respectfully speaking, it's not really nothing that we're literally doing it for the love. We literally just want to see people win. Like, because if it was about money, we would really be putting
the head cracking.
Literally,
that's a way to tell.
Because our time is definitely worth a lot more. Like, we put a lot of time into the group, and what we're getting back for is not what makes it worth it. Is seeing everybody grow.
Like your stories right now, that's what makes it worth it. When you come in and be like, yo, this helped, like he helped me change the way I hold myself accountable. That's what makes it worth it for him. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, oh, that's fine. We did that.
And then even just like out on the game, like, and even with everything else in general, just all the other videos, like I'll tell to the camera, the information the gentleman here not only has my credit score increased, but I actually was able to put more money away into investments and into the right areas as well, and not playing this finagle game. I'm like, maybe I should put this money here. Maybe this stock will hit. And it's like, no, if you actually put the money into the secured areas, it actually, does grow over time. Like right now, maybe a different story, but it's this is the time, like exactly what we said before, to be buying in. Like this is like the Black Friday sales of the market.
Literally,
and bro. It's, if it wasn't for the videos that you guys are putting out there, personally, like I tap into Market Mondays with EYL. I tap into them every single Monday. But is my attention span there the entire time they're talking? No, because they branch off and they talk about different things. They go off and they blow up about the Knicks, and then it's like, I don't want to hear this. I'm a Mavericks fan.
Yeah.
And it's just like all that, but at the same time, when you got clips like yours, it's like it's only 10 to 15 minutes, and it's game that is literally valid to what every single person is facing right now. That what they are going through. Like, doesn't matter if you're the most wealthiest or the most unwealthy. Everyone is saying that same struggle. It's between inflation, your grocery bills increased, your gas bills increased, all these other. Everybody's going through these hard times, and even if they just take the 5 to 10 to 15 minutes out of your day to watch just some of what these guys are talking about, you may be a little more educated, and you definitely will be more prepared to be able to handle these times. Because what really inspired me to really tap in was COVID. Like, I'll never forget the first couple months of COVID. I'm freaking out. It's like, damn, I don't really have nothing. I have nothing saved. I was only just starting my personal training career, and then I literally just got my certifications, and the gym's just closed. It's like all these other things. It's like, damn. It's like, damn. How am I going to provide? But then, if I had just a little bit of the information that I have now, that I have then, I would have been secured. I would have been like, okay, this is.
But everything happens for a reason, bro. We're big on timing. Like, we really think that everything happens with timing. So if you had that information, you probably wouldn't have made the same mistakes that you are making now. And now the mistakes you're making are only going to help you out for the future because you're learning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's how it goes. Like,
I mean, the credit thing in general, all the mistakes I made in my early 20s in general with the credit cards.
You're never going to make them again, though, right?
No.
Exactly.
If I ever make them again, snap my neck. I never want to go through this kind of a process of taking away this debt again.
Yeah,
right. That was oof.
But you know what though? It's like, it's funny you're speaking about like financial lessons. Like, we literally have an episode that's about to drop like today.
What time is it? I don't even know.
It's dropping a half hour.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
It's going to drop in a half hour, and we literally are breaking down every lesson that you need to. Every lesson that we learned over the past 3 years is in that one episode. Like, every financial lesson we learned.
I'm excited to watch
that.
Yeah, tonight.
Bro, it's straight gems on that. We literally called it $1 million worth of game 2022 wrap up. It's literally $1 million worth of game in that one episode, because you learn so much more from mistakes than you do from people's successes too. So like, You have, if you're not clear on what just went on in the past 3 years, it's all in that episode. Everything is a lesson.
And I think you made a point earlier. Like I just wanted to make sure that point was like spoken on, right? So you said if you put your money in right situations and right places, it will go up, right? Maybe not right now. Even right now, actually, because I was talking about this earlier with the S&P 500, right? Like, so when I started investing in the S&P 500 like 3-4 years ago, whatever, I had started investing, right? And even now, the fact that it's down, like the overall market is so terribly down, right? I'm still up 5% in that account with the S&P 500 because, as you just said earlier, if you invest at the right time, every single month, and you're doing your thing and you're doing your research, it pays off, bro. The long-term approach will always pay off. And that's why you can still do the same thing that everyone can.
I want everybody to know the stock market works. Like, so I just, for people who are like, yo, nah, I try stocks and it works. You got it at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And when you dive into stock market and you understand how things work, you realize that there's certain times where you need to go heavy in, and there's certain times that you need to be taking profits.
Lesson learned, by the way.
Lesson learned for all of us. You understand? So please understand the stock market works. If you look at anybody who's wealthy, they're heavily into stocks and real estate. All right. And so why would you not get into stocks and real estate? They just obviously know when to be buying and when to be selling. That's it.
Eric Thomas talked about that. He basically was like, yeah, when I was asking people how to be a millionaire, he was like, the first thing is they told me, yo, I got $100,000 in savings. So he put $100,000 in savings. Next thing is that he was like, yo, you got to get an 800 credit score. He's like, I got an 800 credit score. And then he's like, so I kept on talking to millionaires who were millionaires. And I asked them what they did. So they tell me what they did, and I did what they told me. Yeah. And it's like, okay, so everyone that we research, that we want to basically be, we look up to, stocks and crypto and real estate and in businesses. So why would we not follow the same blueprint?
Literally, bro.
Right? Why would we not? Or we could cry about it and just be victims.
See, I'm gonna bring it to Jay-Z, the song 444, off the album 444, and I forgot the exact name. I think it was Story of OJ.
For credit.
Yeah.
Credit, and then also Dumbo.
Yep.
Yeah.
The fact that, like,
you know, got that.
And when I first heard that song, and then when he talked about it, I choked. I was like, oh my God, really? Like, he could have. It's like that just put my mind into perspective on like this actual market. On like, this house may not be worth like the 200,000, like it's 200,000 like now, but in like 5-10 years, it's gonna be a couple million.
Bro, we made that mistake. We literally could have gotten on Airbnb before the pandemic and everything. Like
desirable.
Like it was actually #1 national park in the country, and we were gonna have a house there. We just that's the biggest part. Lessons learned, right? Because you build up your knowledge to the point it's like, oh, random numbers. Let's just say we have to put down 50, right? You're the agent, Val and I are the client. We're like, oh, you told us 50, bet 50 it is. You got 25, I got 25 here. You come back to us the next day, 65. And we're like, wait, hold up. Now we got
told us 50.
Yeah. It's like, wait, what? But at that time, if we think about it and we really go back in time and we're like, hindsight's 2020, right? But now that we learned that lesson, and never again are we making that same mistake, we should have paid you, because the way the industry was switching, the way inflation was kicking in, the way interest rates were going up, all of a sudden, like everything was happening, and we're like, yo, wait, it makes sense. Lumber is going up, so that's why they're charging more. If we did that, the ROI on that was ridiculous. Return on investment would have been ridiculous. Yeah. And that's why the Dumbo thing just reminded me of that. It's like, yo, you make mistakes, but that's what makes your story that much better.
Yeah, and reality is that's why I wanted to have you guys on again, because you guys helped the story, like on this side. Like it's not enough to just tell you guys like you guys have really helped out, but it's like to show everyone who watches and just give this like as a referral video for people. If you really listen in and you take action, you can make changes in those 3 months, maybe even a month, maybe by the end of the week. Like it's just like all it matters on like how much you really are willing to change, how much you really how much effort you really are putting into that change. If you're giving lackluster effort into that change, you're gonna get lackluster results, and you're gonna be in the same position that you're gonna be in for years to come.
Facts.
But if you actually take that effort and you actually listen in, and then you take that steps, like you guys, listen to as many millionaires as possible. It's like, and just follow their steps.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a part of that online business world where it's like I have an online e-commerce, and it's like that the people who are at the higher ups, like they could easily tell me, like, go, fuck off. They can tell me, go, you go do it. Just listen in, just listen to our audios. But they're actually a call away. Like I could actually talk to them. I can meet them up for coffee and actually pick their brain, and they pay for the fucking coffee. It's like that's another thing. It's like the right people who really want to help, they won't ask you for anything. They will literally, if they really want to make that change in their community and they want to see the good people win, they'll pay for your coffee to meet with them. Like you literally have to just show up. You just have to show up.
Right.
And if you can't even just show up, then you don't care. If you can't pick up a phone to call them, you don't care. If you're somebody who really wants that freedom, it comes with sacrifice. Sacrifice your time, sacrifice of energy, sacrifice of that financial shit. Like all the money all the profit I could have been making over the last year, like, yeah, it could have been going towards all these other good things around me, but it went towards my debt. Paid off my debt a lot faster than the company was expecting me to pay off my debt. They gave me a 3-year, the 4-year expectation. It's almost at the end of the year too.
Wow, that's fire.
So it's like, I really want to be debt free, but before I'm 30, this way I could take whatever money I have now and all the stuff I'm going to have and put it towards the actual facility and get that facility up by the time I'm 34. By the time I'm 34 years old, that facility should be up and running, good to go, and there's sure to be about 10 scholarships given out.
Facts.
It's like it's that. I can say that because it's already written out on the plan. It's written out, like, how serious are you about your goals? It comes back to what we talk about in Bamboo Group. It's how serious and how much detail are you really about to put into your goals? It's not just you're going to get this money and what are you going to do the next day? It's like, how are you going to get that money?
Literally, the step by step, it's systems too. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure everybody has a winning system. So, like, I was listening to something earlier, and like I was saying, like, it's not always about having a winning play, but it's about having a winning formula. That's literally all it is. So as long as you have a winning system, you might not have every win, but you got to control what you can control, right? Make sure your system is a winning system. Focus on the system. I want everybody to take that after this video, is like, make sure your system that you're approaching the week with or the day with, honestly, the next hour with, make sure that's a system that's actually going to be beneficial for you in the long run. That's what it comes down to. That's what you can control, your system.
So before we wrap this up, guys, anything you want to put out there, any last minute messages, and also where can they find you out for everything?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So first of all, on Instagram, we're at The Bag Talk Show. Bag as in book bag, right? So The Bag Talk Show. On TikTok, we're at Bag Talk Show. YouTube, we're at The Bag Talk Show. Okay. And also we have a Discord, a community that we're launching first week of February. It's going to be amazing. We got a book club within it. We have guest speakers, professionals in so many different fields. We have the accountability group in it. We send out messages every single day. We're going to get financial updates on what's going on around the world, both financial and entertainment, right? It's also just a community where everybody can come and talk to each other and network. We have all types of individuals from different fields in one group, and they can benefit off of each other. We've had people make connections and business connections within the group already in our first cohort. We're getting ready to launch another one in February. I need everybody to be a part of that. So make sure you please contact us. Please contact us. I don't know if you want to add anything.
Yeah, I think that's really a great summary of the group itself. We're also going to be having affiliate links to other platforms and partnerships that we're going to be taking part in that we want to share with you guys, right? So everything we do, you're going to have access to. Our connections are going to be your connections. So that's really what we're promoting right now. And we're not going to crack anyone's skull when it comes to pricing. Like, that's a promise that's from us, right? In terms of just last minute message, I would just say, just take action. Anything from this entire conversation, I think it's actions. Just take action, have a system, and have fun. Like, literally just have fun with what you're doing, bro. You'll make it. You just gotta believe it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's 2023 now, right? 2023 now. So your life not gonna change unless you change. It's really that simple. Y'all gonna come. You can't enter 2023 with the same habits you had in 2022 and before that, and claim you want something different. It's nonsensical. So it's like, y'all need to look yourselves in the mirror and make sure if you're serious about your goals, you're gonna do like Tim did and you're gonna write out actionable steps and have a checklist on this. The first thing I'm gonna do, this is the second thing I'm gonna do, and this 25th thing I'm gonna do in order to reach that ultimate goal. So like Newski said, like Tim did, it's all about action, it's all about systems. And if y'all need us to come to your schools, please contact us, because we are really trying to get into schools to talk to the youth from colleges and high schools, please.
That's it.
That's it. With that being said, damn, fucking throats talking up. I appreciate y'all more than y'all ever understand. Just because of getting you guys on here. Wanted to have you guys on here as like the last video of the year, and as like the video of like the show, like get your ass ready for 2023. Because literally everything that we just talked today, if you're not even just an ounce of motivated, you're just not, you didn't even listen. This is just a background while you're fucking. So I'm just, so with that being said, it's been the Welshcare pod. I know I've been kind of cut off in the corner over here, but you know, at the same time, they're more of the starlight over here today. They need all the attention here. They need everything. So again, appreciate y'all. You know,
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate everything, and all I'm doing is looking forward to that success in the future. Been Welshcare.